Hi everyone, Nick here, and today we're going to be playing some Destiny 2. Now, if you've never played this game before, the best way I can describe it is an online sci-fi shooter MMO. I think that pretty accurately sums it up. You pick between one of three classes. I have a ton of time in this game, so I have all three characters made, I guess, and operational. I don't really think that's a good way to put it, but you have hunters, so they're kind of like stealthy and all about weapons. Titans, which are about like, I don't know, defense, if you think like tanks and like other RPG games like that. And I guess hunters would be like a rogue. And then warlocks are, well, warlocks, they're about magic. I've played all three. I started out as a hunter because I played this game in middle school and, you know, oh my god, it's so edgy and cool and yeah, you get it. Then I played Titans, but honestly the tank thing isn't cutting it for me. It never has. And then Warlocks, I played a good amount on Warlock when I came back to this game for like uh, Beyond Light and all that. And then when I recently came back, I figured I'd play Hunter again just to, you know, finish it off. That's where I started, and that's where I'll finish, I guess. Now, I'm not that good. Well, I mean, I'm in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm rank 11 if you've played this game, and I have some solo flawless dungeons. But there's people who are way better at this game than me. People who can probably better explain things than I can. But I figured I'd make something, so maybe you'll find it relaxing. Um, this game's like a mix of PvP and PvE, mostly PvE. Uh, Usually either 3 or 6 player activities. So you have things like strikes, which are little story missions. Um, you have these exotic missions, which are longer, like half an hour, 45-minute story missions. That give good guns at the end. Then you have dungeons, which are 1 to 3 player, I don't know, longer activities. Sometimes they can take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. It depends how, efficient you are and how many people you have. And then raids, which are like the end game. I'm sure if you played like any MMO or whatever, like Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft, you know what a raid is. In this game, it's 6 players. And, you work together and you solve puzzles. Same thing with dungeons, too. A lot of puzzle solving. Then there's PvP, which is 6v6 or sometimes it's 3v3. And then we don't talk about Gambit. That's a mix of both. But yeah, I figured we'll do a dungeon and that's basically it. I'll kind of talk through it and explain what I'm doing. Maybe someone will find this helpful and use it as a guide. I doubt that, but yeah, we'll do probably the dungeon I've done the most, which is Prophecy. This was introduced way back when, I think maybe 5 years ago now. It's one of the oldest dungeons in the game, but one of the ones I'm most familiar with.
The Nine can see the weft and weave of fate. Eyes up. There is much to learn from them.
I'm gonna switch guns too real quick before we start this. So yeah, this is the solo flawless emblem for this dungeon. So like an emblem just like this thing at the top that you see for your character. This is Equilibrium Pit of Heresy, Spire of the Watcher. I don't actually have one. There is no emblem for Shattered Throne, but those are the ones I have Solo Flawless in. So I figure I won't get like too into all the build crafting elements of this game. If people really want, I can make a more in-depth video on that, but I don't think this is necessarily the place for that. So in this dungeon, it mostly revolves around these light, and if these guys can stop shooting me for 2 seconds, light and dark little, I don't know what you'd call these spots. And you need to cleanse them. And to do that, I don't know if you can even tell in the video, it's kind of hard right there. The edge of my screen, there's like a little darkness, like effect. So you need to kill these guys in the corresponding area so they drop these motes. So you get, should be 4. It's only 3. I think I'm losing it. Motes, and then when you max out your motes, you kind of hold it like this. And you stand and you cleanse that. So that was the darkness one because we stood in the darkness. But now we need light. So we'll stand in the light, and I switch guns so I can easily kill the knights. And this video is definitely going to be a lot of talking and rambling. I'm kind of just going to be explaining what I'm doing. Alright. For this first part, it's kind of just teaching you how, the light and dark thing works like I just explained. This guy doesn't want to show himself. There we go. We'll do light. This room is definitely harder to do dark for. So you need 5 is the max. You need 5 motes to max it out. And if anyone who's played this game is gonna critique my gameplay skills right now, I'm not gonna sweat for a video that is supposed to be relaxing, so don't worry, this is not an accurate portrayal of my skills. So now we work our way up. That's the final boss right there. We work our way up here to what is the first encounter. Wait for this to turn so you don't accidentally get launched off. I'm just gonna stick on this loadout that I have here. I have a bunch of loadouts. These are the 2 I used for the rank 11 missions, if you're familiar with this game. This one's like a monkey, samurai, Jedi. These 3 are like my DPS kind of builds. These are my normal, just whatever builds. And this is my PvP build. It's a samurai cat. But I use this build pretty much for everything, you can tell. And I kind of use some strange guns, at least this one. I think it's a big trap people fall into in this game, is they're always obsessed with what do I gotta grind out next, and what should I chase, and then you get it, and then it's like, what's next? And half the time people don't even know how to use the build they're using. Like there's loops to some of these builds. Like you use your super ability, which is that thing in the bottom left, the yellow bar, and then you use like this gun or this ability, and then people just like put all this stuff on and then don't know how it works. And I think it's more important that you use a build that you're comfortable with, and that you won't die using. But I say as I'm sitting here with 1k on. But yeah, I think that's a big trap people fall into, and it's like, oh, this build does 2,000 more damage than this build, so spend like 10 hours grinding this dungeon this week, and only this week, so you can get this. I think that's kind of silly. And I think that's what makes a lot of people hate this game. Granted, this game does not have good RPG mechanics. It shouldn't be like that, but I'm not going to get into that. Or maybe I will, when there's nothing better to talk about. So here's the first encounter. Here's the boss. Same thing as before, but this time there's 4. And wow, I'm about to die already. Alright, step 1 is don't get launched off the edge. Kind of playing like an idiot here because I'm trying to talk. And, do the thing, and I'm not really thinking. So see, I screwed this up. Or maybe I didn't. I think 3 guys just died here instead. Wow, that would have been really, really funny if, I got knocked into the moat and picked up a different one. That's maybe not so much in raids, but I noticed a lot in dungeons that they teach you. Obviously, this is good video game design. I think some of the design in this game, and I'm gonna die here. The design for mechanics and the gunplay in this game are unmatched. In raids, maybe not so much, because that's kind of the point, is you're supposed to all... Oh, this is really awkward. You're supposed to figure it out as a group. But dungeons, they give you a little intro part where you're safe. There's really no threat. And then, they introduce a threat, and you do the same mechanic. So now the pressure is on. That's just good game design. Alright. Now it is time to bring the pain. We'll use our super ability there. And now we're just going to shoot this gun. And we beat him in 1 phase. I wasn't very worried about 1 phasing or not. Again, this isn't necessarily a DPS build, but it can put in the work. That hurt. Alright, now this next part, we're gonna hop on our surfboard thing. And we're gonna look around for this dude who's not really a dude. I know that wasn't very... Okay, don't go out of bounds here. His name is Toland. And he's a little spirit. And he's here to help us. But first, I think I'm going to grab the secret chest. So I'm standing right here. So in these dungeons, there are these secret areas sometimes. And they give you a chest. Granted, you can see there's like 3 little diamonds. Okay. There's 3 little diamonds next to that piece of loot, because this isn't the featured dungeon this week, but that's okay. I'll still grab it. Alright. Now we have these Taken. So these guys we're fighting, these shadowy figures, are the Taken. I probably should have switched guns for this again. put that gun on real quick. Here is Toland, this little white blob. That's why I wanted this gun on, so I can just do that. Much quicker than bursting all these guys down with the sidearm. Not that I don't love this gun. Alright, now when we step near Toland, it's gonna teleport somewhere in a certain direction. Alright, so we went that way. So we're gonna go that way. Now granted, you could just drive around the whole place again, but who wants to do that? Not me. Alright, I'm getting like pushed around here. And hopefully this is relaxing so far. I picked probably the activity I'm the most comfortable explaining that, involves explanation that I could talk about. I see he's gonna go that way now. If anything, not only is this video, because I like making these and I want people to find them, relaxing, but I think I would be remiss to never make a video on a game that I have so much knowledge about. I think I offer like a unique perspective. I play a lot of this game solo. I know I mentioned that there's 3 and 6 player activities. A lot of the 3-player activities I do by myself. And I've never really done a lot of the raids and stuff, the 6-player activities. And I believe we only do that 3 times. So the way is open, which means we go over here now to this thing on this side, not that one over there. We want to go to the one on the right. So yeah, I have a lot of knowledge for people who, maybe you just want to try the game out and you don't have a group of friends to play with. It is definitely possible to enjoy this game and not be playing with people 24/7. That sounds kind of strange, but you know what I mean. Okay. This next room, Toland is gonna help us again. We need to put symbols on each side of the cube. Now, one of these 4... Well, I guess that's wrong. Here, let me take a sip of coffee before my throat gets too dry. Now, I guess not one of these 4. Hopefully one of these 4. He will be standing or floating. There. He could also be on the roof. Now, where if he's there, like right here, we want whatever moat type is that platform right there. So if he's there and it's a light right there, like that's glowing white, we need light motes to cleanse on that spot. When we cleanse, we will come to the center, go into the cube, and put a symbol. We need to fill up all the sides of the cube, so there's 6 sides. If he is on the roof, we pick a side that doesn't have a symbol. So if he went straight to the roof, I would probably just do light, because this room, I think, is easier for light. Now, the knights that we've been killing for the moats, like in the first encounter and in the intro, will not spawn in unless we kill the sniper dudes that are going to be towards the top of the arena. So when you kill 1 sniper dude, 1 knight spawns in. When you kill 2 sniper dudes, so 2 knights spawn in, you get the moats, You dunk them. You come to the center. You do that 6 times. Hopefully 6. It could be more if we get unlucky. Okay, sorry about that. Random interruption. And then I had to leave and I ended up dying, obviously. But trying to think of everything I said. I think I explained everything. So yeah, we're just gonna start this again. Okay. So Toland is right there. We need dark. So we're gonna kill the 2 snipers. And then the knight will spawn in. And I did this in the first run. And I screwed up. And I accidentally got the light motes. And we need dark. Now if you screw up on the first one, just pick them up. Because then, if you leave them, you might accidentally pick them up after. And, like, you don't want that. Then you'll, like, double screw up. Or something. So we'll come over here. Cleanse. You don't really need to kill these guys because they'll despawn. Alright. Now, Toland isn't on one of these 4 things. He's on the roof. So we need to pick a spot of the room that doesn't have a symbol. So it cannot be this one to my right. We'll kill our 2 snipers. And we'll do dark, because I'm standing right here in the dark. You could do any one of these that doesn't have a symbol. But we'll do this one because we're standing right here. So now Toland is going to be wherever he was. It's on this one. We need light. That's probably a bad spot. I always recommend that you cannot find the other sniper. That is my healing grenade. I was gonna say I cannot find the other snipers. There we go. And if that 3rd sniper is annoying you, you can always just kill them. It will spawn an extra knight though. And I don't believe you can pick up your motes and like try and bring them to the next one with you. Alright, Toland is right there. We need light. This is probably the worst room to get light in. And I don't know where the snipers are at. Both of them spawned above me for some reason. Cleanse that one, and go back to the middle. And these guys respawn too. And see, they despawn right there. Alright. Roof again. Not those 2. This one right here, dark. And I killed him in the light. We'll pick these up. And if you're not sure if you're standing in the dark or light, always just like look at the edge of your screen, because the amount of times I've accidentally screwed it up. And it's like not like a really weird glitch. Is pretty high. Alright, we want this one, because we don't have a symbol. Toland is right there. We want dark. And then I didn't even realize that was a knight. Dark, dark, dark. I'm gonna hide in a corner over here. Alright, and for some reason this is a light spot. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When I say pay attention to where you're standing. Okay. I'm actually selling. And then all of those just fell. You know, I'm not even going to try and go down there. As you can tell, this is probably my weakest room. I've never been good at this room. But I'm not dying. Except for when I got interrupted, but it doesn't really count. I have nothing to prove. I've solo flawless this before. Okay. Wow, this is not being very kind to me today. Alright. It's right there. We need dark. You can get either really lucky or really unlucky in this dungeon. And have to keep doing those. Now I believe that's it. So once you fill all 6 sides of the cube, you gotta fight two bosses here. They're not very strong though. Especially compared to the first one. And that's it. We get a shotgun from that. And if I can hop on my surfboard, that'd be nice. But I can't. So we'll just walk out of the cube room. We're going back to the desert. And there's the boss. So that's usually how these dungeons work. There's like a first encounter or a midway point boss, and then a final boss, and then some sort of puzzle encounter like that last one, and then traversal sections. This is probably one of my favorite looking areas in the game. I'm probably gonna cut real quick to take a picture for the thumbnail, but this is super sick, in my opinion. So this is called Rainbow Road, and yeah, basically, like Mario Kart, you know, if you fall off the track, you die. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut to after I take the picture. Okay, I'm back. I just moved down a little bit from right there. That's where I left you guys. Hopefully, I got a semi-decent picture for the thumbnail. This is one of the coolest looking spots, I think. So, we're supposed to go down these, but I have a little trick. And it's called using this thing. Now you can either jump all the way down. There's a whole bunch of different techniques you can use. Now, Granted, flying over the abyss is certainly a technique. And as you can see here, I'm going to somehow manage to kill myself. Like so. Spawn that in before it blow up on me. Now there is another secret chest, and it's down in that last little room. Now, I recommend avoiding as many of those as you can. There's enemies in them. Just not worth your time. Now when you're also going down, you can see those taken things trying to push you off. Just tried to get me. I'm not having none of that though. So we'll ride on down to this last one. And grab our secret chest. And get a chest plate from that. You can see some of the enemies get taken up, no pun intended. So maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Let's go into this giant thing. Oh, wow. And up we go. I will probably also stay on this build for the rest of the dungeon, which is just the final boss, but that's a whole lot of enemies. Granted, I don't know if I'm going to, I'll probably still stay on this weapon. Although, I'll switch. And my build, if anyone watching this is curious, is this. Pretty much everything is very easily accessible. This armor set is from one of the first locations you go to. It just makes it so I take less damage. When I pick up those little glowing orbs on the ground, or I lose them, these guns you can get as soon as you unlock the tower. This is probably the hardest thing to get that I own. I know I said I don't really do any 6-person activities. This is from one of the raids. You can skip to certain encounters in it though, and when it's the featured raid, a lot of people will put LFG or looking for group posts in the game itself. There's an option to do that. So I decided to join one. As long as you know what you're doing, then usually people won't get mad at you. So in this, these will change, but the same thing as before. It's 3 dark, it's triple dark right now. They will change when I go and interact with Toland. So there'll be knights that spawn, kill them, cleanse the thing. When you cleanse it, an ogre will spawn. And you can either leave the ogre alive or, that's kind of annoying, but I usually just get rid of them. And then after you've done all 3, you go into the middle here, go down the sand, and then damage the boss. Now the boss, we're in this long hallway, and the boss is teleporting backwards away from us. But we need to stay close to it, or else we die. We get this debuff. And if it gets to 10, then you die. It's over. The boss can also teleport you backwards to the start of the arena, which, you need to stay close. So you gotta, dodge these certain, blast attacks. And there's also a couple of snipers. I forget if I rallied or not. I did. So maybe keeping that other gun on you know, it could have been helpful, but I'm more comfortable with this because it gives me a buff to take less damage. So yeah, we'll see if we can one phase the boss. It might be a 2, but we'll go and talk to Toland. And there's the Kel Echo. So these are all like phantoms that will shoot at us during the while we're doing. So it's light, light, dark. Go do this one. So when you cleanse, phantom goes away, and an ogre spawns. We'll get this knight. I usually like to do the one that has the duplicate, if there is a duplicate. So this one was 2 light and 1 dark. So I'll do the light first in case I screw up. Alright, this knight is not very nice. We'll cleanse that one. Get the ogre. And that damage buff I was talking about, woven mail. You can see that on the left there. Because I killed the ogre with this gun. I don't even need to kill him with the gun. They just need to be affected by it and then die. So that's why I like to use it. Alright. I'm actually not going to kill all these guys right away. That number right there, the armor charge, that is going down. I would like to build that up just a little bit. So I have 30 seconds of it now. It's obviously going to go down because I'm going down, but we'll reload this. You can see that dark entropy at the top there. It's at 3. Now it's at 1. And some of these blast attacks, you can see like that wave aren't actually hitting me. So now we need to move. That attack right there is the one that teleports you. Now had I brought a see that one, I'm standing right behind cover and it teleports me. See, had I brought a true DPS build, maybe I would have been better off, but now it's at 8. If I had stayed on 1k, maybe I could have killed the boss here, but getting a little greedy trying to do that. You'll see I'll get teleported here again. I was in my inventory, not paying attention. But the boss will leave. So I switched to a more DPS build there. If I was on that build, I definitely would have killed the boss in one room, but that's okay. Ooh, this is an interesting room. I forgot this one. Alright, light, dark, dark. So we'll go for dark first. This is a very hard room for light. So I say as I get light. And the knights in this one, we do not have to kill Hobgoblin, the sniper dudes. I'm just spawn in, but I'm getting kind of destroyed here. I will waste some ammo. because I cannot reach this guy. Stay away from the enemies. And cleanse. Take down the ogre. On the light here you can definitely see on the edge of the screen there. Get rid of that knight and cleanse this one. And I guess if I had one piece of advice for anyone, trying to do this, or I guess any solo content in this game, or solo flawless at least, is stay calm. That's like the biggest thing, because if you start freaking out, like I'm gonna die, and wipe, then that's when it's over. I guess that goes for like literally anything in life. Don't start freaking out and being like it's over. I didn't hear no bell. We'll just go here. I'm not gonna kill that last ogre. Because I have plenty of armor charges. We'll stand right here and not move. We'll get the boss with our super. And that's it.
That's some bloodlust, hero. It hit me when you were tearing that last pack of Taken apart.
Somehow I just got a triumph for
Trying to say,
completing this dungeon with
it don't matter.
Light and dark.
everyone is the same class in my fire team, even though
Say the same, just the difference.
I've done this solo before. It is very strange. They must have updated this. You can see I have the solo flawless. I did this on a Void Warlock my first time. I don't have the full fire team full of Void. I've already done the full fire team of Solar, because I've done this with some of my friends. That's very strange. And then this strange fellow right here. So, not a bad time. Plus, I mean, gonna have to cut out the part where I got interrupted and then the thumbnail, but yeah, I think that's kind of, maybe I'll just show you some of my builds or my drip. This is that Monkey Jedi. One's kind of like a robot. This one's like a demon samurai thing. I try and keep, so you have the armor here. There's like obviously gray, blue, green. Those are all when you're starting the game. But after that you have legendary and then exotic. So you're allowed one exotic gun, one exotic armor piece, like equipped at a time. So I usually try and keep, you can change the look of them. I usually try and keep the exotic armor piece as it is, and then build my fit around that. So this one, it looks like that. This one, the gauntlets look like that. Sometimes though I'm not very creative. This is was. I tried to like make that one word there. The first, I guess, build was the Speedloader Slacks Hunter. So a lot of my drip is based off of this outfit right here. As you can tell, this one that I switched to during the middle of the dungeon. This one looks very similar. The pants are different though. This is probably a more unique one, because my cloak is the exotic piece. This one is literally the same as this one, because they're almost the same exact build. This one I did not keep the gauntlets. They look like that normally. And I'm a big fan of having the shoulders look a little bit wider. It's the one thing I don't like about hunters. But, yeah, I think that's all I have for this video. I hope you found it relaxing, and if you want to see more of these Destiny videos, maybe I can figure out something else to do. But I don't really think I'll make another one of these unless people really want me to. But I hope you found it relaxing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.